As families gather to celebrate this Christmas, it can be very easy to forget the true meaning of the festive season. For 2 millennia, people across the world have observed the sacred religious holiday with a wide range of traditions. Christians celebrate Christmas Day as the anniversary of the birth of Jesus of Nazareth, the figurehead of Christianity. Though the Bible does not mention a specific date for Jesus' birth, the Gospels of Matthew and Luke both agree that Christ was born in Bethlehem. They both describe Jesus' birth to a virgin named Mary, but their respective accounts are rather different besides that. However, the various Gospels are in agreement that Jesus' childhood home was in the town of Nazareth in Galilee, modern-day Israel. English archaeologist Professor Ken Dark spent 14 years studying the remains of a first-century dwelling beneath the modern-day convent in Nazareth. He published his findings in the book The Sisters of Nazareth Convent, a Roman period, Byzantine, and Crusader site in central Nazareth. A group of nuns first stumbled upon the dwelling in 1881. Professor Dark told ARCHAEOLOGIST News last year, in many ways, they were way ahead of their time. They conducted a perfectly reasonable rescue excavation, or salvage excavation. He described the discovery as one of the first examples of an archaeological project directed by a woman. The idea that this was Jesus' home was dismissed by archaeologists in the 30s, and remained largely forgotten until 2006. The site contained a first-century building, partly cut out of rock, that could possibly have been a dwelling. A Byzantine church was built on the ground above, which Professor Dark suspects could be the previously lost Church of the Nutrition, built to commemorate the place where Jesus was raised, and mentioned in historian Adomnan's 7th-century book De Locis Sanctis. He told the BBC last year, "We know from written evidence this church was believed in the Byzantine period to have been built on the site of Jesus' home and the dwelling preserved in its crypt. It's almost certainly the Church of the Nutrition, which was dedicated to the upbringing of Christ, and mentioned in a 7th-century pilgrim's account." Professor Dark told ARCHAEOLOGIST News, "The Byzantine Church Sisters of Nazareth seems as though it was almost certainly the building described by Adomnan. It was very large, very elaborately decorated, and probably from the 5th century. It overlays a crypt, which is also described in his book. In the crypt, just as he says, there are 2 Roman period tombs, and between them there's a house. Adomnan said that house is the place where Jesus was raised." Professor Dark added, "So, we found the church, we found the crypt, we found the house. Whoever built the house," Professor Dark said, "had excellent knowledge of stoneworking,